Imagine standing in the middle of New York City, where skyscrapers rise high into the sky, horns honk, and crowds of people hurry through the streets. Suddenly, you step through an archway, and everything changes. Trees sway in the breeze, birds sing, and children laugh as they run through the grass. This is Central Park, a giant green space in the heart of Manhattan. It feels like a peaceful escape from the city, but it is also full of history, stories, and imagination. Central Park is not just a park. It is a symbol of how people came together to create beauty and community in the middle of one of the busiest cities in the world. The story of Central Park begins in the 1800s. By that time, New York City was growing very quickly. Thousands of new people were arriving each year, and the streets were becoming crowded. Wealthy families wanted a place where they could ride horses and carriages. Ordinary families wanted a safe place to walk, play, and enjoy fresh air. Many leaders in the city believed that New York needed a large public park, something grand and inspiring that would give everyone, rich or poor, a place to enjoy nature. In 1853, the city government agreed. They chose over 700 acres of land in the middle of Manhattan for the new park. At that time, the land was not the green and beautiful space we know today. It was rocky, swampy, and uneven. Some people lived there in small communities, and they were forced to leave when the park project began. Creating Central Park would mean completely reshaping the land into something new. A competition was held to design the park. The winning design came from two men, Frederick Olmsted, a journalist and farmer who loved nature, and Calvert, Vaux, an architect. Together they created a plan called the Greensward Plan. Their idea was to build a park that looked natural, even though it was carefully planned. There would be rolling meadows, lakes, woodlands, and winding paths that felt like the countryside, right in the middle of the city. Construction began in 1857, and it was not easy. Workers had to blast through rock, haul away tons of soil, and plant more than 270,000 trees and shrubs. They built bridges, roads, and tunnels. They designed the park so that walking paths and carriage roads crossed each other without meeting. Carriages could pass under bridges while walkers strolled above, making the park safer and more peaceful. It took years of hard labor by thousands of workers, many of whom were immigrants. When Central Park opened in the 1860s, it amazed people. Families could enjoy picnics on the lawns, ride boats across the lakes, and go for carriage rides under the trees. For children, the park was a magical playground. For adults, it was a place to escape the noise and stress of city life. It quickly became the most popular place in New York City to spend time outdoors. Over the years, Central Park continued to grow and change. In the winter, ice skating became a favorite activity on the park's ponds. In the summer, concerts were held outdoors where music floated through the trees. Sheep once grazed on the Great Lawn, giving it a countryside feel. In 1871, the Central Park Zoo was created, giving visitors the chance to see animals like bears, monkeys, and exotic birds. One of the park's most famous features is Bethesda Terrace and Fountain. The terrace was designed as a grand meeting place with staircases, arches, and carvings. At its center stands the Angel of the Waters, a beautiful statue with outstretched wings built in 1873. The fountain became one of the most beloved spots in the park, a place where people gather to sit, talk, or watch the water sparkle in the sunlight. Central Park also became a place for art and imagination. Statues of famous figures were placed throughout the park, including William Shakespeare and Christopher Columbus. In 1872, a statue of Alice in Wonderland was added, where children could climb on the bronze figures of Alice, the Mad Hatter, and the White Rabbit. These touches made the park feel not just natural, but also full of stories and creativity. As the city grew taller and busier around it, Central Park became even more important. By the 1900s, millions of people visited the park each year. It was a place where anyone, rich or poor, old or young, could enjoy the same green space. The park belonged to everyone, and it gave the city a shared sense of community. But Central Park was not always cared for properly. In the mid-1900s, it began to fall into disrepair. Grass grew patchy, playgrounds broke down, and crime increased. Many people worried that the park was being lost. Then in the 1980s, a group called the Central Park Conservancy was formed. This group worked hard to restore the park, replanting trees, fixing paths, and keeping it safe. Thanks to their efforts, Central Park is once again the beautiful, welcoming place it was meant to be. Today, Central Park covers 843 acres and has something for everyone. There are wide-open lawns, shady woods, and sparkling lakes. There are baseball fields, playgrounds, and even a castle, Belvedere Castle, which offers a stunning view of the park and city. Joggers, bikers, and walkers fill the paths every day. In the summer, people spread blankets on the grass to listen to concerts or watch outdoor plays. In the winter, families skate on Woolman Rink, just as they did over a century ago. Tourists from all over the world visit Central Park, and for New Yorkers, it is part of daily life. Some come to relax and read under a tree, others to walk their dogs or meet friends. Many simply enjoy the chance to see flowers blooming in spring or leaves changing in autumn, reminders of nature in the middle of the city. Central Park is more than just a pretty place. It represents the idea that cities need green spaces for people to rest, play, and connect with nature. It was one of the first large public parks in America, and it inspired many others across the country and the world. When you stand in Central Park today, you can hear the echoes of its history. The workers who built it, the families who picnicked on its lawns, the children who played in its fountains, and the artists who found inspiration in its beauty. It is a living part of New York's story, continuing to bring joy to millions of people each year. Central Park shows us that even in the busiest city, there must always be room for peace, beauty, and imagination. Central Park has also become a star in pop culture, appearing in countless movies, TV shows, and books. Films like Home Alone, 2 Lost in New York, and Enchanted used its bridges and paths as magical backdrops, while TV shows like Friends and Gossip Girl made it part of their New York setting. Musicians have performed famous concerts on the lawns, from Simon and Garfunkel to large gatherings that drew thousands of fans. Writers and poets have used the park as inspiration, seeing it as a place where city life meets quiet reflection. Beyond entertainment, the park is alive with activities like birdwatching, rowboating, yoga sessions, and storytelling hours for children. In every season, Central Park offers something new, proving it's not just a park, but a stage for culture, creativity, and community.